Back on Painscreek today. We're still in the hunting cabin. I think we looked at everything that we could in here. Could be wrong, but I think I'm right. We're making pretty good progress. I've been writing down a lot of things, and I think I have an idea of who the murderer could be or what happened. We'll see if I'm right, and I'll let you guys know if I was right. And if I was wrong, I'll let you guys know that. I do like being shocked, so it is nice to know when I'm wrong. Here's a key. Oh, another key. Yeah, I already read this. Okay, we're gonna go search Father Matthew's room at the church. That's to the hospital. We don't want to go there. I just keep getting myself lost, even though I said I was becoming more familiar with the map. Here's the postal service, but we want to get to the church on Silver Lake Boulevard. That helps. Everything's on Silver Lake. No, not everything, but majority. Okay, we're back here, so I guess we'll just use this as a landmark. Sheriff Outpost. Take Black Pine, Clover Street to Silver Lake to church. Does that mean it's this way? Yep, got it. I feel like I'm waiting for somebody to like call me out for snooping, but there's nobody else in this game. It's kind of funny. It's just like a weird feeling. That's nice. I guess we're going upstairs. Well, yay. Another diary. January 16th, 1975. A few months have passed since I've arrived here. This missionary trip is harder than I expected. There's no clean water, the food lacks nutrients, and there isn't enough medicine. We have requested help from WHO, but haven't received any reply yet. I feel so frustrated. What can I do? March 3rd, 1975. When Father Calvin first sent me here, he asked if I would be willing to stay for 6 months. It would be a good training for me, he said. I agreed. That was before I came. 6 months have now passed. I think I will extend this for another 6 months. The people here need as much help as they can get. I'm not a doctor, but I can help them through my support and prayers. I will let Father Calvin know about my decision. September 16th, 1975. Time flies. I can't believe I'll be going home tomorrow. I will miss the people here. At the same time, I can't wait to get back home and meet everyone again. September 19th, 1975. Father Calvin summoned me this morning and told me that Sophia had left Painscreek. How can that be? The last time we wrote, she told me she had so many things to share with me when I got back. Was she forced? Is she hiding something? I just cannot believe that Sophia left without telling me anything. Something must have happened to her that she could not tell me. September 29th, 1975. It's been almost 6 months since Sophia left Painscreek. I've asked everyone around. No one seemed to know where she went. Father Calvin told me to let it go. He's right. I should not dwell on matters of the heart. There are more important things in life that I need to focus on. If Sophia and I are meant to meet again, God will let me know. It's time I move on with my life. So they had a thing? All right. Anything else in here? Another diary. Oh, it's got a lock on it. Oh. What? I want to read it. Finally, somebody's got a lock on it, though. All the other ones you could just easily open. O'Malley and Associates. Okay, so, dear Mr. Brooks, we have evaluated your case and we accept the request to represent your son, Scott Brooks, in court. We are in the process of drafting an appeal for his release. Considering the sensitivity of the situation, we urge you not to make any public statements until consulting with us. Additionally, we would like copies of any government documents related in any way to your son. Medical records, transaction receipts, travel documents, previous criminal charges, if any. The more we have, the better we can help in your son's case. We will be in contact within the next few days. Sincerely, Brendan O'Malley. Wow. Okay. Documents recorded for that. We have a key for the chest that we seen earlier, but I'm trying to remember where that is. Key to the basement. A blanket with moon, stars, and my baby boy written on it. Okay, here's a letter from St. Patrick Orphanage from February 2nd, 1994. Dear Scott, I'm Sister Rachel. Although I wasn't here when you last came, I hope you remember me. I was your nursing mother after you arrived here those years ago. I understand that you came here earlier to find out how you came to be at St. Patrick's Orphanage. On July 4th, 1975, Father Calvin came to us holding a basket with you in it. He said that you'd lost your parents and there's no one to take care of you. He told us that your name was Scott. After he left, Sister Emma asked if I would be willing to take care of a baby. At first, I hesitated because it was a huge responsibility. But when I saw your face so full of innocence and curiosity, I felt as if God Himself had delivered you to me. I accepted the task. When you were 10, Father Matthew came to see you. He had just become the head priest of Painscreek Trinity Church. He visited often, usually at the beginning of the month. Whenever he left, he would leave an envelope containing a small sum of money. He said it was for everything you needed and that whatever was left was then given to the orphanage. I would be lying to say that I wasn't sad when you left the orphanage, but when Father Matthew adopted you, I believed that your life would be better in Painscreek than here, and I dearly hope it's so. Everything enclosed within the package used to be yours. I think you should have these. May God bless you, Sister Rachel Davis. Okay. Can I take a picture? But I'll do it again. Diary. Tuesday, November 30th. I've noticed some of them state the day of the week and some of them do not. I asked Andrew about Sophia. First, he freaked out, saying that I shouldn't go around speaking that name. Then he said he had never heard that name in his life. Is he hiding something? Why would he lie about Sophia? This makes me want to know who Sophia is, even more. Thursday, December 2nd, 1993. I asked Wanda if she knew anything about Sophia. She said Sophia used to work as a maid in the mansion for a few years until she was let go. When asked why, Wanda said she didn't know. However, she thought that Sophia was a manipulative woman that would do anything to get what she wanted. Wanda resented that. Wednesday, December 8th, 1993. I met Derek today and asked if he knew anyone by the name of Sophia. Apparently he's not on speaking terms with me. I wonder if it has anything to do with Trisha. Monday, December 13th, 1993. During today's lunch break, I asked Bernard if he knew about Sophia. He was surprised that I knew that name, but proceeded to say he did not know her that well. Somehow I feel uncomfortable whenever I talk with Bernard. His cold gaze gives me the shivers. Saturday, December 18th, 1993. I met Dorothy while tending to the garden. I asked her about Sophia. She looked confused. She was curious as to where I heard that name. I told her it came from Andrew. She kindly explained that Sophia was a close friend of hers when Sophia first came to work for the Roberts family. Unfortunately, she had an affair with Charles when Vivian was hospitalized. Wow, Dorothy really gave that information just away. Shortly after she left Painscreek, no one has heard of her ever since. Dorothy thinks that Sophia has probably started a new life in another place. I wonder if the affair was the reason everyone's quiet about it. So it's like seeming like Scott is maybe the baby. But that would be weird, right? Because he dated Trisha, and Trisha is Charles's daughter, right? Or maybe he's not the kid. Because I think that'd be messed up if that ended up being the case. Hmm. Huh. I didn't get a key. Supposed to, I thought. I have no idea if this is gonna work, but we'll see. We were supposed to get this, like, ladder. I don't know if I, like, messed up somewhere or what. But it wasn't in that box, so I'm not sure. Chess pieces. Trisha. What does it say on the back of it? I can't see it. Drawer? And diary. March 26th, 1993. I like being with Scott. I can be myself in front of him. He doesn't judge me or tell me what to do. He cares about what I think. He makes me happy. April 1st, 1973. Scott and I have decided to have our own secret hideout. It'll be really fun. Mom won't know that we are secretly meeting. September 3rd, 1993. I'm so glad that Scott is now working at the mansion, although having Andrew as his supervisor is probably not the best idea. He's drunk all the time. I don't want him to influence Scott in a bad way. September 16th, 1993. Scott has to work the garden the whole day. After that, he has some errands to do. I guess we won't be meeting today. I miss him already. Apparently, the only thing she talks about is Scott. October 1st, 1993. I wanted to learn photography, so Mom hired Oliver to be my tutor. At first, I thought he would be too old to teach. Plus, his techniques are probably too ancient. But when he came, I was surprised that he's a very humble person. Despite our age differences, we talked for hours. I felt comfortable around him. Then he showed me the photos he took. They were beautiful. It was around this point that I figured out that Oliver is perfect as a tutor. That I shouldn't have been so quick to judge the old man. I'm glad Oliver is my teacher. Okay, so finally she talked about somebody other than Scott. October 5th, 1993. Scott has finally finished moving all his stuff to the cabin. Winter's coming, and I'll be extremely cold in the cabin. The fireplace should help. Maybe I should knit a scarf for Scott. I think I'll visit him today. However, from the photo lab, borrowed a shovel and a wrench. Andrew. Yes, we have extras, so I told him he could keep the tools until he was done with them. Guess we'll go back in the house. I know this isn't where the house is. I'm just kind of looking over here. Alright. Getting lost under the tree. Here, Trisha, you can always stay at my place when you feel lonely. Please hold on to this. Someday I will tell you everything. May 2nd, or 22nd, 1994. Mom is so judgmental. She doesn't want me to be near Scott, saying that I should find someone who is of the same class as me. What does that even mean? Who determines what class Scott is in? Did Mom talk to Father Matthew? Is that why Father Matthew also forbade us from seeing each other? Don't they know we're in love? July 24th, 1994. Last night, Scott and Father Matthew had a big fight. Father Matthew told him to stop seeing me again. I asked Scott why, but he didn't know the reason. I feel so miserable. October 10th, 1994. Scott asked if I had a younger brother named Vincent. I didn't. He told me that it was probably just a rumor, but wanted to be sure about it. Who'd spread such a rumor about my family? October 11th, 1994. At dinner, I asked Mom if I ever had a younger brother named Vincent. She stared at me and said no. She then asked where I got the name from. When I said from Scott, she told me dinner's over. I argued with her. She yelled and sent me to my room. Later, I heard her arguing with Dad. October 26th, 1994. How could Mom fire Scott? That is so unreasonable. There's no reason at all for firing him. And why can't I see Scott anymore? I love Scott. Dad loves him too. Only Mom hates him, and I don't even know why. November 22nd, 1994. I find it really strange. I knew that today was Scott's day off, so I tried to surprise him at the cabin. However, I could not find him. I searched everywhere, inside and outside of the cabin. He was nowhere to be found. Just as I was about to leave, he suddenly appeared as if he had been in here this whole time. This has happened several times now. I'm wondering if there's a hidden room in the cabin that I just don't know about. Interesting. I like hidden rooms. I'm gonna have like the icks if they're brother and sister. That'd be gross. And it would be their fault for not telling them that they are. The Benfield. Secret safe instruction. Insert the clock key. Set the time, turn the key. Okay, so nice. Guess these aren't able to be opened. Oh, here's a diary. Tuesday, September 21st, 1993. I didn't feel well today. I had a nightmare last night. I cannot remember what it was like, but it was unnerving. I see Scott all the time now since he has started working at the mansion. He's always with Trisha. I used to be one to hang out with Trisha. Friday, October 1st, 1993. Mom says she feels better these days. It's as if she forgot she even has cancer. Hope she recovers quickly. Mr. Johnson is a great man to help us out like this. Monday, November 8th, 1993. Trisha talked to me today. She said Scott is busy recently and she feels lonely. I would never make her feel that way. I cannot say it to her, but I will be there whenever she needs me. We talked a lot. I wish every day would be like today. Monday, February 14th, 1994. Today, Scott came and asked if I knew anything about Father Calvin. I only knew him as the previous church pastor, before Father Matthew took over. I told Scott to ask Matthew about it. Scott didn't say anything and left. Looks like they aren't getting along too well. All right, that's done. Dear Vivian, I am not writing to you as your doctor, but as a friend. I know you had your suspicions about Charles. Now that his affair is revealed, there is no point beating around the bush. If you want to protect yourself and Trisha, there is only one way. You have to make Sophia and the baby leave Charles. They need to be moved away from Painscreek. You will, of course, have to compensate for her leaving. As per Charles, he will need to know that having his affair publicly known will destroy his political status. People are not so forgiving when the mayor they trust is involved in such a scandal. I figured that Charles will try to add the child into the family registry. I would do the same if I were him. It is a boy after all, and the child will be able to continue the family line. If that should happen, I cannot imagine what will happen to you. Henry Johnson. Vivian, I have given careful thought to your request, and here's my answer. I have provided a new prescription for your mother-in-law. Magdalene, it is 3 times the strength of her usual dosage. Detailed instructions will be sent with the medicine. Should you decide to do it, you will need to administer the medicine usefully so no one suspects anything. Call me if you have any questions. Henry Johnson. P.S. Make sure no one else in the mansion ingests any of it. Right now we're gonna go to Black Pine Road to Dorothy's because Dorothy gave the key to Trisha to her house, so we're able to actually go there. Yes, I leave all the doors open so that I know that I've already explored certain places. Just my way of keeping track. No. Why do I keep going up there? And we're in. helping and serving others in the name of God. Our God is almighty and unlimited. He is responsible for creating the heavens, earth, and your very existence. Imagine if you were able to tap into that kind of energy, to feel the love of God coursing through your veins, in your very soul. There is not a thing you wouldn't be able to accomplish and nothing that could stop you. Fraser's teachings has been positively received by so many, with a majority of its readers having spiritual experiences. Learn from Fraser as you soon discover that you too can change your life for the better. With small everyday actions and habits you can incorporate into your daily life. Be a force for good as you learn how to move, touch, and inspire those around you, and create an environment where you can welcome God into your life and for those around you as well. New home, a new lifestyle in the heart of town. We take pride in helping others realize their dreams. Most people just want to secure the lives of loved ones without having the constant worry that something will go wrong. We'll help you set your own pace, protect your freedoms, form new friendships, pursue interests, and enjoy the finest service that can be provided. You can depend on us to aid in whatever way you need, and we'll give you the confidence that someone is always there to help. Painscreek Retirement Management's personal goal is to be the shoulder to lean on for everyone. We'll guide you to choose the right method and right time period, and we'll make those steps together. I was a little nervous moving to this town, but ever since I've moved here, I feel like home. It's been the experience of a lifetime. Dorothy's diary time, February 2nd, 1975. Charles asked something of me today. He asked if I would be willing to stay with Sophia, that he'd arranged to have a house rented out a little ways from the mansion. I told him that I would help, but that Sophia's pregnancy will eventually show. There's no way of hiding it. He seemed very worried. February 6, 1975. Charles came up to me and expressed his gratitude for taking care of Sophia. He said he will be covering all the necessary expenses. He told me not to tell anyone about it. As for Sophia's growing belly, when the time comes, I am to make up something about her running errands outside of Painscreek. I'm not sure if that will work. April 6th, 1975. Sophia is 8 months into her pregnancy. Her belly is big now. I asked her how she felt. She told me she's happy and she feels hopeful for their future. She said it would be best if the baby is a boy. I can understand why she's thinking that way, but I can't help but wonder how Vivian will feel about it all. What will the ramifications of this be? Scriptures. Locked. Wow. Okay. Maybe we can come back later. Good, I remembered correctly. Diary, the hidden truth. On Valentine's Day, Trisha gave me some chocolate. I've never seen that brand before. I bet it must be expensive. I haven't finished making the music box. I had hoped that it would be her Valentine's Day present. I'll just give it to her later. Hopefully she can forgive me. Friday, February 18th, 1994. It's been quite some time since I last talked to Father Matthew. He's been always asking about how I'm doing after Sunday service, but I tend to ignore him whenever possible. I know it's wrong. I need to find a way to make amends with him. Tuesday, April 19th, 1994. The grass has been growing wild lately. The weeds are everywhere and Andrew's not here. Actually, he hasn't been here for quite a while now. I wonder what happened to him. I should visit him after work tomorrow. Saturday, September 23rd. 1994. I was about to pick Andrew up for work when I found him lying unconscious on the floor. There was an empty bottle of sleeping pills on the table. I immediately called the ambulance. According to the nurse, this is Andrew's third suicide attempt. She's glad that I saved him in time. An hour later and he could have died. I don't know why Andrew would commit suicide. What I know is that he must be lonely. He needs a friend. Wednesday, September 28th, 1994. I visited Andrew at the hospital today. He's out of ER and is recovering quite well. While I was cutting the fruits, he told me his story. In 1972, there was a maid who came to work at the mansion. Her name was Sophia. She was a hardworking young lady with a great personality. She was loved by many. A few years into her job, however, she had an affair with Charles. A child was born. When Vivian found out, she was furious and decided to kick her out of Painscreek. What happened after that was a tragedy. On June 26, 1995 at 11 p.m., Vivian, Dr. Johnson, and Andrew confronted Sophia. A fight broke out. Sophia fell and hit her head on a nearby wall. She stopped moving. Dr. Johnson checked and realized she was dead. Her neck had broken. No one knew what to do. Vivian then asked Andrew to take care of the body and her baby. Andrew did what he had to do to protect Vivian. After that night, they vowed never to tell anyone about the incident. Before leaving, I asked Andrew what the baby's name was. He said it was Vincent. As I left the hospital, I couldn't help but pity Andrew. He lived a confusing life, and the struggle shows. I hope he can heal. Dang. So Sophia's dead. I'm telling you, it's that baby. Like, all those people are dead now, so that's just fishy. It's definitely the baby or someone close to the baby. Obviously not. The baby's grown now. It's been like 20 years. The baby's grown now, but still. Also, I was eating, so I couldn't say it, but I had a feeling that he was dating his sister, and I didn't want that to be the case because he is the baby, but that was like literally my only lead. So I had a feeling that was going to be what it turned out to be. That Scott is the child. April 16th, 1997. I called Dorothy last week. She told me something interesting about Sophia. There was a puzzle that she received from Matthew when she first started working at the mansion, sort of a birthday gift for her. In that puzzle, Sophia was to visit both hers and Matthew's favorite locations in Painscreek. In each location lies a clue that Matthew had written on the wall of the building exterior. The clues, when put together, will point to her the location of her gift. I thought that was a neat idea. Sophia's favorite places: Anne's courtyard, Inn and Suites. 2. The bridge, over the stream by the gate entrance. 3. Post office. Why would someone like the post office? And where can I find Matthew's favorite places? I received an anonymous message this morning. It claimed that Scott wasn't Vivian's killer. Unfortunately, stop. That's all I got. I've had my doubts whether Scott really killed Vivian. He sure had the motive. But upon reading all his diaries and looking through his investigation notes, I can't help but think that Scott didn't kill Vivian. On the contrary, he was trying to find out who killed Vivian, as well as what really happened to Andrew Reed and Dr. Johnson. April 26, 1997. I still don't know if this anonymous person is a man or a woman, but they've helped solidify my thoughts on Scott. April 29th, 1997. I received another message yesterday. It told me to look into Bernard, the mansion's butler. I can't help but feel that this person is trying to tell me something, but not exactly what. The message that I will find something in the house. Today I received a key in the mail with the initials BH. Does it stand for Bernard's house? I searched everywhere and read all of Bernard's diaries. Something just doesn't add up. Maybe it's just a hunch, or simply that I'm thinking too much. But would he have really killed Vivian? There's something else about his entries that just make me pause and wonder if he was indeed a murderer. I photographed all the pages. Me too. Not yet, but I've photographed many diary pages. I'm guessing the next place we're gonna go to is Bernard's house. Okay, so we do... Wait. No. I'm not done. I don't know why I did that. Okay. Moving on. Storage. We got the hammers, so we're good. Just need to go in here and turn this on so we can get power to the hospital again. And there's like stairs. Oh, just got to the hospital. Alright, so now that the power is restored to the hospital, you can see things much better. Grab a pair of keys, opening all these drawers now. Alright, so we're starting from the bottom. Then, I know what you did. Meet me by the well at midnight. You know which one. Come alone. Charles Roberts, I don't know if it's a joke that you sent me the threat letter, but if you know about the well, then you must have found out the truth. Just so you know, your wife was the one behind all of it. If you have any grudge, it's with her, not me. I was just a witness in Sophia's death. Nothing more. Must have never got to fax it.
Henry, I just received a letter from the NMB investigation firm regarding the use of the RRF funds. I need you to call me. Henry, we really need to talk. Please call back. What's going on, Henry? Why aren't you returning my calls? This is really important.
And here's something else. Vivian Roberts, 1 Maple Drive, Painscreek, NL. May 29th, 1993. Dr. Henry Johnson, 45 Black Pine Road. Dr. Henry Johnson, I would like to thank you for your contribution to the Painscreek Community Hospital and the people of Painscreek for the past 2 decades. However, there have been reports regarding the mishandling of funds designated for PCH, most of which have came from the Roberts Relief Fund. This support was meant to help with the purchases of medical equipment and supplies. Since the sum of nearly $160K has been estimated missing, we have no other choice except to open an investigation until you are able to explain the discrepancies between your accounting and ours. We have no choice but to suspend all funding for the hospital for the time being. I will be meeting you and your accountant to solve these issues so we may continue to support the hospital's needs. Okay, now we're gonna go check out 203 because I think we've gotten everything, or like look through everything there. Good thing the batteries don't run out, because they would have by now. Room 201. Room 202. 203. The bathroom is locked for some reason. Maybe someone's using the bathroom. No, nobody's in this town. More VHS tapes. Happily ever after. Oh, room key. Yesterday, on hearing that Scott was apprehended for the murder of her mother, Trisha collapsed. The hospital called this morning to inform us that it was just a nervous breakdown. However, they've suggested that she should stay there for another few days. Charles has asked me to stay by her side. August 3rd, 1995. It rained today. Trisha has always hated the rain. She stayed in bed, tucked her under the blanket, nearly the entire day. Here and there she mutters Scott's name out loud. She cried herself to sleep a few times. It pains me to see her like this. August 22nd, 1995. Charles visits Trisha almost every day. Today he was quieter than usual. All of a sudden he told me that Vivian had been seeing another man, apparently a banker, for more than a year. He asked me if Vivian ever talked to me about it. I said I didn't know anything, but was sure that Vivian would never have done such a thing. Then I realized that Trisha was awake. I'm not sure if she heard our conversation. September 8th, 1985. Sheriff Howard came today. He asked me if I remember seeing anything suspicious the night Vivian died. I've already told him everything I know. It's frustrating to be asked over and over about things that I just want to forget. Before he left, I asked if Scott could really be the killer. He said he's wondering the same thing. If Scott was not the killer, then who killed Vivian? September 16th, 1995. Derek came by to see Trisha. I asked him how he was doing. He said that the medical expenses for Wanda were more than he expected. Even with Charles' help, he's been forced to use most of his savings. He's currently searching for a second job. He asked me if there was a future for him. Traveling with Charles made him see some of the rather ugly sides of the world. His mother is hospitalized with terminal cancer, and seeing his best friend Trisha like this pains him. I didn't know what to tell him. Before he left, he leaned close to her and whispered, "Would it have been better if Scott just never showed up? Would you have chosen me?" I wish that I never heard that. Scott Brooks' body found by jogger with multiple stab wounds to the heart. Police do not know if this is tied to the murder of Vivian Roberts. By Daniel Hudson. Scott Brooks, a star suspect in the Vivian Roberts case, was found dead yesterday. His body was found on the roadside along Maple Drive. At around 6:50 a.m., a jogger happened to find a body lying motionless behind a bush on the side of the road. He stopped to check if the person needed help, only to notice that the body was covered in blood. He immediately called 911. The police arrived shortly at around 7 a.m., and the victim was declared dead. The estimated time of death was predicted to have happened 4 to 6 hours prior, putting the incident to have occurred around 1 to 3 a.m. Okay, it's leaning towards Derek now. because of what he said about it'd be better if Scott wasn't around, basically. Go to Dorothy's house now. Just go straight, I guess, because I think the hospital was just right there. Actually, it's right here, her house. And go up here. Pendant of Mother Mary. Friday, October 27, 1995. Scott was released from prison this morning. Matthew went to pick him up. There's a lot of tension here in Painscreek. Most people think of Scott as a murderer. Charles tried to stop Trisha from seeing Scott, but it's no use. She was already waiting for him at the cabin. November 6, 1995. Charles is drinking again. He couldn't stop Trisha from trying to see Scott, yet Scott seems to be avoiding her. Trisha should not have been discharged from the hospital at this point. She still needs help and rehabilitation. Tuesday, November 14, 1995. Derek and Scott fought at the market today. Derek asked Scott why he's avoiding Trisha. Scott didn't say anything. He just walked away. Derek told him not to come back anymore. It's sad to see what's happening to them now. They used to be such good friends. Thursday, November 16th, 1995. Oh my God, Scott was killed? December 2nd. Trisha's been going crazy ever since Scott died. She sometimes screams in the middle of the night, here and there. She'll ask us why Scott hasn't visited her for a while. No one seems to know how to answer without agitating her condition. Wednesday, December 6th, 1995. Trisha is finally being admitted to the hospital for another mental breakdown. Charles doesn't know what to do. I've asked for his permission to take care of Trisha at the hospital until she recovers. I think Charles appreciates my help. Dorothy Patterson story. Done. Daughter of ex-mayor found dead at Painscreek Community Hospital. Trisha Roberts falls 40 feet from a rooftop, lands on head, and dies. By Jonathan Walker. Yesterday morning, the body of Trisha Roberts was found on the grounds of Painscreek Community Hospital. She was pronounced dead at 7:20 a.m. According to Miss Thompson, she was starting her morning shift when she heard some sound near the reception area. She went out to find Trisha lying motionless. Blood was flowing out of her head. She quickly called for Dr. Bennett, the attending physician for the day's morning shift, who brought Trisha to the emergency room at once. Unfortunately, it was too late. The hospital CCTV shows that Trisha Roberts was walking around the hospital at around 6:30 a.m. She headed to the roof at 6:54 a.m. A few minutes later, her body was found on the ground 3 floors below. Charles Roberts, ex-mayor and father of the deceased. But it doesn't let me read anymore. The hospital is now checking to see why the roof door was not locked. Investigation is still pending regarding Trisha's death. Don't know that. Dear Dorothy, I want to express... Okay, letter from Oliver. I'm just writing this down. Okay, I want to express my heartfelt gratitude for all you've done for me. You've taken care of my store on so many occasions. You've helped to maintain its bright spirit. I would be lying if I said that I'm not saddened by your departure. I will greatly miss you. I wish you all the best in your new place. Do invite me there once you've settled in. May God be with you. Best regards, Oliver Gibson.